It happened again. No one, literally no one wanted me, and words can't even describe the frustration I felt trying, wanting to do the right thing to provide for my family. I wish I could tell you that the story of me eventually finding work, or actually work finding me after more than a year of struggle, went something like this.
Chloe, 54, steps outside for a vape just 3 hours into her first day on the job, and all of a sudden, poof, she evaporated, never to be seen again, allowing me to replace her.
Despite that actually happening, my success story went slightly different. But Chloe's dedication to her role did play some significance in me getting hired, as I was struggling with my mental health last year, affecting the growth and income of my media business, unable to cope with completing video projects, finding new clients, as well as chasing existing ones for payments. I needed a break from the intense pressure to provide where I was falling short most of the time. I've been here before, trying to find work, that is. But I thought that with my added experience in the workplace just before the pandemic and all these new skills that I had taught myself, things would be different. Of course, it wasn't. My mental health spirals down as I'm struggling to juggle my business, keeping my clients happy, of who there were fewer and fewer as time went on. It was very hard searching for work and going through job application after job application only to receive responses, if any, like this.
Thank you for your interest and applying for this position. Unfortunately, we will not be proceeding with your application.
I managed to stay positive after the first rejection, but not getting invited for an interview after the 10th, 20th or 30th application will most likely destroy anybody's confidence. I do have skills that I was desperate to share with anybody who was going to give me a chance. I find it difficult to describe in words the crushing emotions I was feeling going through this. Even having professional help from a health and well-being employment advisor through the Live Well Kent organization did not help. Through them, I also received counseling for a number of other struggles I was going through, only adding to my frustration and ever deepening my depression. One of the most profound challenges I was working through was my ADHD diagnosis in February 2022 and the awareness that came with it. Having learned so much about myself through it, I have become a big advocate for getting assessed for ADHD or any other invisible disabilities. But of course, the possible waiting times to be assessed in excess of 4 years is a huge deterrent. I know and appreciate how fortunate I am receiving my assessment and diagnosis within only 8 weeks. My diagnosis subconsciously triggered my extremely analytical mind that I have only recently been able to appreciate a lot better. I came to understand that my hyperfocus associated with my ADHD led to the success in our energy project in Bolivia that should have resulted in a signed commercialization agreement. However, that same hyperfocus that led us to our success also resulted in me leading the team into failure and losing everything as a result. Processing this truth was hard, but understanding how my ADHD affects my decision making has given me a lot of consolation, which is why I believe in the importance of getting assessed and receiving the help and support that is available out there. It was hard not to crumble with everything that was going on, but there were still so many other factors that added to the struggle. One that I have not talked about explicitly is the marital challenges my wife and I are experiencing after being married for over 20 years, which is, however, a topic for another video when the time is right. The point is, there are so many worries and challenges at the same time, and if I could just find a job, it would just be one less of them. The unexpected and surprising breakthrough in finding work came with the help and support of a good friend, Jasmine, who often offered a listening ear to my wife as we go through our challenges. Jasmine took the initiative to speak with the agency that she had been working with for some time and has found work for her consistently. Despite feeling skeptical, I sent my CV to the agency. I had nothing to lose. After a few back and forth, I became more hopeful that something will come of it. Unfortunately, the admin role at the local university didn't work out, but it didn't take long until something else came up. With very mixed feelings, I was willing to give it a shot. Mixed feelings because I love the liberty my self-employment gave me, but the projects that I was working on were not as creatively demanding as I would hope, and it reflects in the money that I would make on such projects, not making me feel fulfilled. As I'm mentally preparing myself for this new role that I felt would be a dream crusher, I receive another call from the agency while I'm in Devon with my daughter 250 miles away. She tells me that there's an even better opportunity she can offer me, with a prominent corporate that Jasmine has also just joined. They need someone urgently, asking if I could start within 2 days. A bit weary as to what I was getting myself into with no interview and not knowing anything about the company or the details of the role, I agree, and my daughter Hannah sends all the relevant documents from my phone as we are driving back home. Of course, our journey back was a nightmare. Taking forever with one delay after the next, knowing very well that I needed to be prepared and ready to start my new role bright and early the next day, pick up Jasmine from her home and then commute 45 minutes to the office together. Initially, I found the role very challenging due to becoming hypersensitive to the noise in the office and the unfamiliar environment, literally wanting to crawl out of my skin. The thought of evaporating myself did cross my mind as well after my third day. But giving up after finally being offered this opportunity and having a chance to prove myself to the company, as well as finally providing a stable income for my family, prevented me from picking up that habit. It turns out the company was building a task force, but with Chloe suddenly evaporating on her first day, she made room for others to join the team, which included Jasmine. As for me, I was offered the position because another team member could not commit to the role due to their family commitments, which did leave me feeling a bit like the last resort employee. The reserve on the bench that never gets a minute of game time. This is probably not even the case, and I honestly was just happy to be able to work. Although it was not expected of me from the role, I was able to discover and actually appreciate my analytical mind that allowed me to also become aware of patterns, allowing me to offer a different perspective and approach to the role. I became very vocal and proactive in expressing and implementing my ideas in improving processes. This has come as a huge revelation to me, as for my 40 years, I have always had to struggle with not feeling good enough, even if my accomplishments were out of this world. Feeling that I needed to prove myself worthy of love and respect. A lot of self-reflection and working with my ADHD coach through the Access to Work scheme has been instrumental in this. Having been working for some time now has taken away a large part of the pressure I was under, which has allowed me to realize that my abilities and skills that I have to offer have always been there and part of me, but I was unable to recognize and tap into them. The point is, you have a unique skill set too, that is more powerful than you are probably aware or willing to admit. Learning to appreciate mine took a long time, but the important thing is that I got there in the end. I'm very grateful that the team that was created, of which I feel very privileged to be part of, consisting of people with very different and unique skill sets. I feel that there is not a problem to which we couldn't find a solution, which feels very rewarding. I know there are many of you out there who are struggling just like me to find work. I'm not sure what advice or tips I could give you as takeaways other than have patience, teach yourself new soft skills, talk to people with confidence in your skills and let them know you are looking for work, which is practically the only thing that I try to follow. May there also be some truth in the saying that your net worth is in your network, as without the influence of Jasmine, I may still be looking for work. Continue with having patience, and most importantly, and probably most difficult, don't second guess yourself. Don't sell yourself short and appreciate your gifts. You are great at everything that you do. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely stunning day. I'm Thor, and I shall see you in the next one.